Now we're heading to St. Tola's National School in Shannon, where a very special new addition has just joined the school community. Rosie, a trained therapy dog who's already making a big impression. From helping students feel calm and supported to bringing a few extra smiles into the classroom, Rosie's set to play an important role in daily school life. And earlier I spoke with Maria Hehir, teacher at St. Tola's National School in Shannon, to find out more. Maria, good morning to you and thank you for joining us on Morning Focus.
No, good morning, Alan. How are you?
Very well, and I'm sure not the only one, I'm sure our listeners too, keen to find out more about Rosie. You've just welcomed your very special new member of, I was nearly going to say the staff there, but...
yeah, no, see, we call her a member of staff.
She is a member of staff, okay.
She is a member of staff, yeah.
So, I suppose first, before we get to Rosie and what kind of impact you all expect her to have, how did the idea of bringing a therapy dog into the school first come about, and how novel is it in Clare or elsewhere in the country?
So basically I'd heard of the charity My Canine Companion. St. Caimin's community school down the road actually have a therapy dog too, and they had gotten it through this charity My Canine Companion, and we thought, you know what, it'd be actually amazing benefit to our school. Here in St. Tola's we have a multi-disability class and we have an autism class as well attached to our school, and we were kind of saying, oh wow, the benefits of this therapy dog would be just amazing. So I contacted the charity and you can apply. They open their applications kind of once a year, and you can apply for the therapy dog. And My Canine Companion is a charity based in Cork, and they bring you down kind of for a big information day about what's involved, because it's not very straightforward, I suppose, bringing a puppy into a school, but they tell you everything that's involved and they kind of let you go away and think about it and see, would you still like to apply? So we applied, I think, around this time last year. We applied, and we were very lucky then. We found out just before Easter that we were going to be getting our very own therapy dog here at school. Okay,
so very exciting time for the school. I'm sure the children are all very, very excited. You know, I know my own kids, how excited they were when we got a dog. But, you know, on the face of it, you know, school therapy dog, if we can dig a little deeper, what exactly is it that you hope or expect Rosie will do from day to day?
So we brought her into school last Friday, and straight away the impact was just unbelievable, particularly for children that actually have a fear of dogs. We're already seeing that children that would have been terrified are already starting to ease into and becoming a bit more accustomed to her being around, and the fear is slowly diminishing, I suppose. But supporting emotional well-being and learning is a big thing. Children, we find already that they're really relaxed around her. One of the teachers commented today, I went into 5th and 6th class, and he was saying, look at everybody smiling, like all the children were just so happy to see her and just to give her a little rub. We find it reduces anxieties for any children that might struggle with stress. We've one little boy in particular who finds it hard to come in the morning, and already last Friday morning he came in, he straight away in the door, no tears, because he knew that the puppy was going to be inside ready to meet him, and he got to see her straight away. We just find that the behaviour-wise, it's brilliant. It kind of gives them a focus for the children. Students, I suppose, with autism, ADHD, they find it easier to kind of communicate with a dog or to engage. Reading, children, sometimes we find that they may not want to read to an adult, but they'll read to the dog. We're just hoping that, I suppose, as Rosie grows with us, that we'll see all these different things happening. Their social skills and everything. Kids that wouldn't usually chat with an adult are already chatting with the puppy and saying hello and everything like that. So hopefully we'll see the benefits now for years to come.
It sounds extremely positive. So, you know, is Rosie, in terms of how it works, is Rosie brought into classes where there are students with autism or ADHD, or generally speaking, is kind of Rosie wandering the corridors and students can give her a rub as they're going to and from their class, or is it a mixture of all of that, Maria?
It's a mixture of all of that. At the moment, I suppose we're just feeling our way with her, and as we were... Myself and Sinead. So Sinead Lenihan, one of our SNAs, is actually Rosie's primary handler, and she and I will be going for intense training. So we go for training once a week for the next 8 weeks, and then it's every fortnight for 8 weeks, and then it's once a month until I think she might be about 18 months before she's fully trained. and so there's intense training with it. So as we get to know Rosie, I suppose we can see what she can do around the school. So at the moment, she's just kind of getting to meet everybody. She's spending a lot of time with Sinead in Sinead's classroom. As you can tell, as you know, she's a puppy. She sleeps quite a lot at the moment, so she's probably awake for 45 minutes and then sleeps for an hour. But yeah, at the moment, we're getting used to her and getting used to bringing her out for toileting and different things like that. So, but in time, we're hoping that, there might be a timetable around her where she might go around and she'll be in different places at different times, depending on the kids' needs. So I suppose it's like any primary school, the needs are constantly changing. So she will hopefully adapt with those needs.
It sounds from what you're saying, Maria, like Rosie will have a kind of a multifaceted positive benefit. Obviously, individual students, those, as you touched on, with ADHD or autism or whatever, it might be. Just students in general, I suspect the absence rate, however small it might be in St. Tola's, will drop exponentially because students will really want to come in and see Rosie. But what about what about yourself and the staff? The other members of staff.
So everybody is absolutely obsessed with her already. They're just, it's interesting because they had told us at the day we picked her up that it's the adults that always want to get her and rub her more so. The kids will listen to what you say, but the adults in particular are funny. They're mad about her, and everybody wants to have a hold and bring her for a walk. But at the moment, she spends most of her time with Sinead, as I say, and me, I'm the second handler. But also when we went to the talk initially, we met a principal, and she was saying how she had parents coming in for what was going to be a difficult meeting, and they had their therapy dog in the principal's office, and she said it completely de-escalated the tension in the room, the dog being present, because the adults straight away were like, oh wow, and they were all about the dog before the meeting started. So it's amazing, not only for the kids but for the whole community of the school. It's going to be an unbelievable asset.
Yeah, it sounds like even in such a short period of time, you're already getting a sense as to the big impact Rosie will have if things are this positive after such a short period of days. Yes, weeks, months, and years down the line, what will it be like?
Oh, it'll be unbelievable. I know there's a therapy dog somewhere in the country at the moment, and he's 12 and still going to school because they can retire certain dogs at certain ages depending, and he still absolutely loves going to school. They were saying it would have been the worst thing ever to stop him. So he's retired, but he still goes into school, and he might just lie in the classroom for the day, but he's still having the impact even in his retirement, I suppose. But yeah, we're just very excited. We're kind of saying she's part of our school family now, and we're just very excited to see how things go now over the coming weeks and months and years. Yeah.
As you said yourself, Sinead, you're still kind of learning all you need to know, the ropes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that or will that involve guidelines for the students as well as to, when they can or can't interact with Rosie or, anything of that nature, or is that necessary?
Yeah, it is. At the moment, we're generating a poster, actually, of kind of rules around Rosie, in that they have to ask to pet her before they come up to her. Only myself or Sinead can be in charge of the lead. Now, we can add a second lead and they can walk her with us, but we have to always be in control of her. Different things like petting, noise levels, that she has a quiet room. Rosie has a quiet room, a room to herself where she goes to eat and where she goes to sleep. And we just ask the children not to disturb her while she's there. And that they listen to myself and Sinead and the rules around her. There's not too many rules, but they're important ones, and just the training that we've kind of told the children that you can help us in the training of Rosie, and obviously we're only learning the training. We're going Wednesday again down to Buttevant to train, which is lovely too, because we actually go and meet Rosie's brothers and sisters because they all get trained at the same time, which is exciting too.
Well, even though you only have Rosie a very short period, I'm getting the sense, Maria, that you would recommend to other schools considering introducing a therapy dog that it is the way to go. Absolutely the way to go. My canine companion, they have just been absolutely amazing over the last year. Like, they're just so informative. You don't go into it kind of worrying or wondering what might happen, and they're just at the end of a phone call, there's constant messages, how are you getting on, following up on how's the puppy doing, how's she sleeping, everything. They're absolutely brilliant. I couldn't recommend them enough. And they've a lot of therapy dogs in the Cork area, but I know now they're trying to branch out, and there's some in Leinster, and there was actually people bringing a puppy to Donegal,
the day we were there. So yeah, it's very, very exciting.
Well, it's a lovely story, and great to hear the impact Rosie's having in such a short period of time, and long may that continue. Maria Hehir, teacher at St. Tola's National School in Shannon, thanks so much for telling us about that.
Thanks.